must find it. Don't listen to what I say and parrot what I say or what anyone else tries to do. I mean, it's important to research and find your own truth. It's very important to look to yourself and hear the things that interest you or that you are thinking that might not be true or whatever, and research it. I mean, that's what I tell everybody, because the New World Order is like slowly fading into this this world, like little by little. It's here, but it's sort of below the surface at this point. But it's starting to gain precedence. It's starting to gain presence, and trying to understand how it works. You have to look back at the past, and someone like Jonathan Gray on Saturday will be a great indication of that. And of course, Vinny, I'm hoping that we'll be able to see some images of the baby or something, or I don't know what he's going to do, but that's pretty cool. It's up to him. So we're live here from 5 to 8 p.m. on Saturdays, Eastern Standard Time. It's also audio simulcast on 55 networks through TalkStream Live, including, of course, the host of the network, which is Project Freedom Radio, ProjectFreedom.ws. So don't stop listening to that station and those things when you're out and about. Just plugging a bunch of stuff right now, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks again to Pam Suggs. Oh my God, it goes down the list. Roger Landry, all of the people that are helping to wake up the world, because it is a new world order, and they are using their small little top of the pyramid power, where it's all controlled with this small amount of people, against the world. And we are the world. I mean, like, you know, it's like that song, "We are the world," but it means it in a different way. We are the world, not in a New World Order way. We are the world because they are going to bring us into this one world government where everyone will be like Ethiopia. I mean, this is like the kind of countries and worlds, you know, they want to deindustrialize. I have a whole bunch of news going on about that. I don't know where I should start. Fortunately, we have about 45 minutes to go, and I think that was a pretty good introduction. Going into this thing, I guess I'll start with Obama's lies, since we showed a little bit about the Republican lies and bullshit there, and again, they're all funded by the same interests, ladies and gentlemen. It's like, you know, you're betting on the same characters. I mean, their integrity individually, compartmentalized as they are, I'm sure in many cases, would a guy like Paul Ryan or someone else, I think is a great guy. I mean, there's a lot of people in the Republican Party, a lot of people in the Democratic Party that are great guys, great people, and some of them are you know, passively aware of what's going on, and some of them are more aggressively aware, you know, and some of them I'm confused about, like Rand Paul. But don't listen to what people say, including whatever I say or anything else. But pay very close attention to what people do and what they do, these lawmakers, so to speak. Because Obama gave all these promises that he absolutely contradicted in a recently leaked trade document. Oh, yes, that's right. So we have a factual account where this is actually taken from the Huffington Post. And you can find it again on truthbroadcastnetwork.com. Maybe I should just show you the background here of the station background. And so this trade document has been leaked, and it revealed corporate powers and broken campaign promises. Well, of course, what they were doing here, again, is more sleight of hand, more smoke and mirrors, more manipulation, Machiavellian control, where we have incredible information. And what it is these documents are the Trans-Pacific Partnership Trade Pact. It addresses a broad sweep of regulations governing international investments and reveals the Obama administration's advocacy for policies that environmental advocates, financial reform advocates, and labor unions have long rejected for eroding key protections currently in domestic laws. Under the agreement currently being advocated by the Obama administration, American corporations would continue to be subject to domestic laws and regulations on the environment, banking, and other issues. But foreign, here we go. There's a little again, they're bringing in the world government and the idea of that these corporations work independently of our nation state, the United States, and they're bringing on deindustrialization, so we'll be forced to accept their tyrannical demands for world government, which will be their solution. They'll offer it in a loving way with a pillow, but underneath the pillow will be a knife that'll basically slit your throat. Anyhow, back to this. Foreign corporations operating within the United States would be permitted to appeal key American legal or regulatory rulings to an international tribunal. You see, they're already facilitating us into this, using an outside body, NATO telling Obama to go to war, all this stuff, you know, limiting speech, trying to shut down the internet, all the censorship, all the stuff from going on, the internet control and command. I have an article over here from the Financial Times regarding that. We're going to be covering a lot of stuff. This is really good information. So then what do we have here? Senator Ron Wyden has been so incensed by the lack of access as to introduce legislation requiring further disclosure. House Oversight Committee Chairman Darrell Issa of California has gone so far as to leak a separate document from the talks on his website because they realize he's breaking his word. He's a lying son of a bitch, and you know it. You know it. The trade run is contrary to campaign promises issued by Obama and the Democratic Party during the 2008 campaign. It's exactly contrary to what he's promising, which is what it is. What does the New World Order do? What is it really all about? They tell you one thing and do the exact opposite. Like Vinny Bdatruth says, it's opposite land. We live in opposite land. So if they say that, you know, that the government had nothing to do with it, then they did. It's basically almost at that level. I mean, you have to, of course, investigate everything, but oh my God, it's horrible. And you have all of this going on over and over and over again with the same lies between the Republicans and the Democrats, pitting the people against each other. Obama is the most divisive and separative person. I can't believe it. He separates, I mean, everything is all about race or all about religion or all about it. Everything is divide. He's talking about bringing people in. We all have to be brought together. Well, it's all fabrication. It's a psyop. It really is. And then they're like locking people up. Brandon Roos, putting him in jail. Can you imagine this? Because of a Facebook rant? Well, I'm ranting to you right now, Mr. President. You lied to me. I had voted for you. And I find you to be a criminal. You are a criminal. You should be impeached. And I'm on record as saying it because you are. And you might not even be a legitimate president. I mean, I personally feel that your legitimacy as president is absolutely questionable. Okay, what, you think I'm alone? Is that why the Department of Homeland Security and every single other really strange departments are all getting weapons and buying bombs? Why? Why is this happening, Mr. President? Why don't you tell me why so that I can understand what kind of a mind fuck you're trying to pull over here with the American people, trying to slick over the transition to a world government like Bush did before you. I mean, you're just taking the ball. You've been handed the ball, and it's disgusting. And believe me, don't go and vote for Romney either, because you're going to get the same thing. Because he's going to make concessions. He's going to think that he's going to be bamboozled. These people are criminals. Even if he's a good guy, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, Barack Obama is a legend. That's a CIA term. He's been created. He's been set up. He has a whole background. His family CIA background is insane. The whole thing, where they studied in communist studies and in Hawaii. That's where his mother was from. The whole background, Indonesia, Kenya, the whole thing. My God, oh Lord. There's so much evidence that he is not a legitimate president. But they wanted him. He's chosen, probably because of his bloodline, probably because of other things. But I tell you this, most kids, black kids, you know, that are coming from a struggling family, don't do their internship at the Council on Foreign Relations and hobnob and date princesses, as he did when he was in college. So, you know, in New York City. And then his college his documents are supposedly any information that they had about this. His transcripts are gone. His dates are all, they're not revealing anything. They won't reveal his birth. The whole birther issue, anybody that talks about that is considered, I don't know what. The media has just dropped the ball on that completely. They've been told not to. They can't speak. This is an out of control corporatism takeover of our freedom and liberties, using the government as a means to get their way. How's that for a breakdown in like a good sentence? That's exactly what it is. It's these big, powerful corporations owned by a small group of people who have controlling interests, bringing in this technocracy, this scientific dictatorship, controlling big pharma, controlling the foods, making you all want all drugs. Now they're putting commercials on television now. Last night, I couldn't believe it. If you've ever had the chicken pox, you might get a shingles. Shingles are painful and hurt, and you might get it. And now you want to go get your shingle shots. They want to have a seasonal thing for everything, so they can keep giving you all these drugs and all these things, and then keep eating this GMO food. And I'm jumping ahead, but I have a whole article, and I'm not going to miss this because there's going to be a short break here in about 4 minutes, and I'm going to go over into the details of this. But we're going to go into the eugenics, which is really a big part. But in the next 4 minutes, I'll try to get through as much news as I can. So the Internet command and control, the future of digital worlds, is subject to intense debate to determine if it will be for everyone. Because what they're doing is, again, trying to have technologies that are going to be limited to certain people and classes, etc., and so forth. And if you think I'm making this up, look it up. That's why this is Truth Talk News. Listen to this. In December, the United Nations World Conference on International Telecommunications in Dubai will set out a broad framework of regulations for the Internet, the global network of networks that links more than 2 billion people and gaining more than 500,000 users daily, and its platform is web-based. Now you have Russia is actually doing propaganda, putting millions and millions of phony things out there in social networks and media. I mean, it's a big, huge psyop, a big COINTELPRO operation. It's incredible because we are actually making an impact. The truth is coming out. They can't keep the lies up. So they have to put in a police state so when it collapses, everybody's going to have to be held in check. And those that are the resistors are going to be, neutralized one way or another. And, that's it. This is it. I mean, then what do? You sit down and you take the tyranny, right? You let them take your guns. You let them tell you where to go to the FEMA camp and take care, and we'll take care of all your needs. You let them give you the job they tell you that you have to take. All these laws are written down, ladies and gentlemen. National Defense Authorization 1031, 1032 detains all Americans. You have Rex 84. It's constant. It is endless. It is continuous. It goes on and on and on and on. Starting with Oliver North, the Contra hearings, it all came out with Rex 84. And it is just unbelievable that the American people think that this will never happen. Brad Davis. Oh, I should talk about Brad Davis for the minute I have left here or so. Because today I heard him and people were calling in and he was upset because there'll never be a communist state. This country's not going communist. He had callers that were reading passages and information and definitions about things that are happening in our country that are of course it's communism. Brad, wake the fuck up. You don't think this country is going to turn communist? Brad, you don't think that this is going to happen? You're in your 70s, maybe you won't be around, but it's slowly happening, my friend. As they said on the broadcast today on Talk of Connecticut, on the radio, it's been millimeters by millimeters they've been doing it. And that's a perfect example. So wake up and smell the coffee and start being part of the solution, not part of the problem. If you deny, you will be responsible for genocide. That is being set into place. You're not going to report on stories that we tell you to report. You said that on air today. You would not report on stories that we tell you to report because you don't want to be a fear-mongerer. Well, it's not fear-mongering. It's being awake. It's understanding what's really happening. My God, there is no greater tyranny than which is perpetrated under the shield of law and in the name of justice. And that's what's happening. They send our soldiers to fight wars. They send our soldiers to fight for corporations and corporate interests and control. It's part of the eugenics program. And in the next half hour, we are going to be going over the eugenics program. I'm Howard Nema, and you're watching Truth Talk News on truthbroadcastnetwork.com. Please stick around. I'll be right back. I'm Howard Nema, and you're watching Truth Talk News. This image is what they're ultimately hoping to achieve. They are hoping that we don't notice. They are hoping that we let them manipulate us and fall prey to their eugenics, their obsession with the population problem in the world, and specifically the growth and the wastes of the United States. It disgusts them, and it's just sort of, they have certain, I mean, it is true. We throw away far too much food that should be eaten and saved and properly prepared. We waste. We're a very wasteful society. It's true, but and they want to have us to scavenge and scrape for everything so that we'll be more, useful, resourceful, and tax those that eat too much or use too much. This is how it's going. This is what they're planning. And as they do this, this causes poverty, causes starvation, ladies and gentlemen. It causes genocide. Poverty causes death. Look it up. I mean, look at the statistics. I mean, I don't make anything up here on Truth Talk News. And this broadcast gets out to a lot of people, and it keeps reaching people, and the ideas and the things we talk about here get talked about and discussed with everybody that watches. I mean, I'm getting 9,000 hits on the YouTube page, on the rebroadcast. I got almost 900,000 minutes in less than 8 months or 9 months on the on my live stream page. I can't even quantify how many people Harry reaches, and I know that I've got all these other venues on Saturday with Project Freedom and Informed Radio. So, the information is what's key. It's not me. I don't care. I mean, in fact, the only reason that I decided that I was going to, just do this the way I do it is because, you can't, there's too many people out there that have these like names. They don't want to show their faces. They don't have the courage to stand up and really do that. And I can understand that because they're afraid, but you have to say to yourself, once you realize what's really at stake and how things are going, that your life is so insignificant, it's really unbelievable. But what you can do with your life and how you can change others' opinions, thoughts, desires, ambitions is what makes this world and our existence great. That's my viewpoint. I mean, this isn't all I'm about. I'm just giving you information that I don't care if there's any resistance to it. I don't care if people call me names and write all the COINTELPRO attacks that I've had. I don't care. I'll keep doing this until the day I die. But I have other things I do. I mean, I'm an artist. I'm a musician. I'm a writer, and that's my love. This is my duty to my country, to humanity. And everybody should do the same thing. I say it all the time. I mean, maybe the last 2 shows I might have forgotten, but, 90% of the shows, it is all about you, not just saying, listen, you get this information and I tell you to research it, and then what are you going to do with it? You're going to do the same thing. You're going to make your own videos. If you don't want to show your face, fine. Don't show your face. Whatever. But do something. Get the information out there. People need to hear more of it. The more they hear it, the more it'll resound. Then the COINTELPRO says, oh, you can't listen to anything on the internet. It's a whole bunch of crazy people on the internet. No, it's not. It's not. The truth is there. You just have to know how to find it and weed through the disinformation. And there's a lot of that. It's there intentionally. Like Brad Davis was saying today on Talk of Connecticut, here in Connecticut. And I listened to him on 6:10 a.m. in Torrington, Connecticut. I've called in a bunch of times. Now they don't take my calls anymore. So, listen, all gloves are off now, brother. But the truth is, you know, you're a Christian, you're a good man, and you've done very well for yourself, and you know, do for the people. I mean, if you really understand, you don't want to believe it, Brad. I understand. It's your belief system. You don't want to believe it, or maybe you do, and you just, you know, you're doing the best you can because you're restrained for various reasons. Whatever it is, um, you know, not giving the people the opportunity to speak is censorship. And if you feel that you are in a forum for freedom of speech and you just decide you're not going to cover a certain topic, um, you know, I don't know what to say about that. But I don't want to talk about Brad Davis because most people don't even know who he is. I lived in New York most of my life. Never heard of Brad Davis till I moved to Connecticut. So it's a Connecticut thing. Anyway, so this trade document lie Obama has done is outrageous. But it pales in comparison to the globalists' plan to depopulate this planet. And I kid you not, why do you think the courts are soon going to decide if police can sample your DNA without a warrant? That's right. No matter what anyone thinks or doesn't want to believe, the United States courts will soon decide whether Americans can have the expectation of privacy over their DNA. And Michael Risher of the ACLU of Northern California is challenging a California law that requires all felony arrestees to give a DNA sample. He argues that Americans don't want the government to have all the information about us. The truth is, you know, it's not just the right. They're stating that you can be forced to provide a DNA sample. If you've ever, like, you get a traffic ticket and you had a felony because you had a bar fight and you broke somebody's jaw, put him in the hospital, whatever, maybe worse, okay? So now that happened 10 years ago. It's on your record for life. You'll never walk away from that. I'm sorry, you know, you made a mistake, but the system will never forgive you. We will take all your property because slowly you will not be able to work. And so you're going to be pretty much sucking on society, eventually having to suck on the welfare system. And that's what's going to happen to you. But meanwhile, we will take away all of your liberties and rights as we make it harder and harder for you to make a living, even though you want to work. No one will hire you because of your record that follows you wherever you go, like the mark of Cain, Cain and Abel, the mark of the murder of Cain, from the beginning. It's like you're marked, the mark of the condemned. So these are the people that they target. So now you haven't had a problem. You had a couple too many drinks. You've been cleaning, like with no worries. You're back in your world. You know, you go to the bar. You have two drinks with dinner with your wife. They pull you over. You're considered 0.08, 0.09. So you're drunk. So they lock you up. And next thing you know, we need a DNA sample. We need a DNA sample. Oh, I forgot to mention that the cops were actually stopped waiting to make sure that they can catch you, because they decide on certain occasions that it's time for them to just enforce this law, and they have these drunk driving stops. Did you ever think about that? I mean, I'm not advocating drunk driving, ladies